is somebody I've watched for a long time, the Anime Man. I love that dude, but I haven't really reacted to any of his videos. And I see this video, this is the scariest sugar baby in Japan. I'm quite interested to look at what this is going on, because sugar babies and a lot of these industries are wild. I'm very interested to see what he has to say. But before we get into it, make sure you like this video itself if you're watching this on YouTube to help the algorithm gods spread it around, and also sub to the channel if you enjoy these kind of videos. Let's get into it.
The world is a scary place. I'm sure if you're staying in school right now, or you haven't actually ventured out into the real world, or you're just so blinded by the daily occurrences that you see on the news and on the internet, then you might think that the world is full of rainbows and candy. But sometimes you can't even trust those rainbows or those candies.
Nah,
and Japan,
somebody might looking good and might looking nice, but they might have a knife and they'll just stab you.
Although having a very low crime rate as opposed to other countries, has a tendency to commit crimes that are either at a 0 or at 100, and really nothing in between. And although a lot of people infantilize Japanese girls being cute and kawaii, don't let that into fooling you, because today's video is certainly a lesson on cuteness doesn't mean innocent. We got an article here from the Japan.
Cuteness might also mean that's cuteness might mean something completely different. There might be a facade in there, and
Times, which is honestly freaking terrifying the moment
Jeez,
I heard
that's
about
terrifying.
this story, and I wanted to cover it in this video today. The title being Sugar Baby Riri gets 9-year prison term over romance scam. Now,
damn,
mind you, scams are pretty common.
well, I think I know about her. Damn, so she fucked around and found out, huh?
Thing I would say in Japan. Out of all of the crimes that happen, there has been a lot of scams. If you guys know anything about Japan at all, you'd know that things like phone scams are very prevalent here, especially those that, you know, try to phone up people of the older generation who don't know any better and try to scam large amounts of money off of them. That is an occurrence that is actually quite common, unfortunately, in Japan.
Yeah, I think what this is going to go into is that she probably pretended to be the girlfriend of a lot of people, and they gave her a lot of money, and she was like girlfriend of like 500 people, and they all gave her like $3,000 every month. And I bet that's the case. I bet that's the case, because like that's a business a lot of girls and men like feed on desperate people. It's really tragic,
and a lot of people have fallen victim to it, losing a ton of money. But
AOE farming,
we're not necessarily talking about these kinds of phone scams. We're talking about an IRL scam featuring what I can only describe as this innocent looking cute Japanese girl. We know very quickly from this title she is not innocent. So let's read through this article, because this story is actually insane. The Nagoya District Court on Monday imposed a
orange better fit her well
term and an 8 million yen, roughly 51,000 USD fine on a 25-year-old woman who went by the moniker Sugar Baby Riri for swindling 3 men out of 156 million yen through a romance scam, and for selling a manual on how to commit similar acts of fraud. She was trying to turn this
so she was hustling, and then she also sold the guideline to other women on how to hustle. Smart.
Fraudulent sugar baby thing into a full-fledged business. And I don't know why she thought that would have been a good idea, because the whole selling a manual on how to commit similar acts of fraud, you're basically just outing yourself at that point. You're basically saying, yeah, I did this stuff, and I'm going to teach you innocent, cute little Japanese girls out there how to make some quick bucks.
How to make those millions.
The defendant, whose real name is Mai Watanabe, spent the money she obtained from the 3 men on a host whom she fell in love with the aim of making him #1 in terms of sales at the club where he works in Tokyo's Kabukicho Entertainment District.
Oh, really?
Okay. Step on the brakes real quickly. You know, this whole idea of like sugar daddies and sugar babies and stuff like that, it was never really anything that like I fully agreed with, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who you know, thinks that way. But you know, the truth of the reality is that there are a lot of sugar babies out there. There are a lot of sugar daddies out there, and I'm sure a lot of them, although I haven't talked to every single one of them, I'm sure a lot of them are completely okay with it. It's consensual. You know, some people just feel lonely in the world, and sometimes this is the way that they try to quench that loneliness. I get that. You know, do your own thing. If that's what makes you happy, I ain't judging, dog. But in this instance, no. I'm not going to let you do that because you are literally committing fraud. But what is even more insane, right off the bat, we're 2 paragraphs into this goddamn story, and right off the bat, the reason
I mean, is it really fraud if somebody gives them the money without them asking for something? You know, they're just giving them money. I mean, I don't think that's fraud. That sounds like somebody's just giving them something for free.
She committed this fraud of these 3 innocent men who were just trying to like quench their loneliness was to spend it on a goddamn host in Kabukicho?
Wait, what? So she scammed 3 people so that were lonely so she can fill her loneliness with hot men. Now that is the most base thing ever. Wow. Jesus.
What? Look, it would have actually made more sense if she, like, for example, bought, like, you know, really expensive, like, jewelry or, like, designers or, you know, bought a house with it.
She spent all her money on hanging out with hot men.
Spent it on insane, like, luxury trips overseas or something, you know, something that would, like, benefit herself. But clearly, this is one very lonely woman taking advantage of multiple very lonely men. It is like
sounds like a way to live. Just, I mean, you're balling. You're balling. Like, you're playing around with multiple men, and then you get free money from those dudes, and then you go spend rest of your money that you received from those men to hang out with hot men. So you're just like going from dude to dude. Then that's your life. That's your job. Now, I don't know what kind of life that is, but I mean, you know.
A snake eating its own tail at this point. Because if you know anything about the whole host thing,
a bigger
and
fish.
if you haven't, then
in the ecosystem, and who's winning in the end? Like, let's think about this. Who's the one winning in the end? Is it the lonely guys? No. Is it the girl? No. It's the hot men at the host clubs. They are the one getting all the money in the end. And if this happens once, what's stopping this from happening twice? I bet there are more people that do the exact same thing.
Roland, the top host in Japan, link is up in the card there or in the description if you haven't seen it yet.
And also, just saying, FYI, host clubs and dudes in host clubs, they are good looking guys. And they know how to be a good company. So I can understand why somebody, whenever they get into these things and maybe don't socialize a lot with a lot of fun people, I guess, feel the need to start jumping into these host clubs more and more because it's always a good time.
But, you know, just hearing from that story and from multiple other accounts that I have heard firsthand of people that I know who used to work in the host industry,
my experience,
it is quite an interesting situation. It is this system that is set up to almost take advantage of people who are lonely in Japan. And, you know, granted, like, if that's what makes them happy, then whatever, go for it, I don't care. But in this case, you know, we're talking about a criminal using that money to do the exact same thing, which I'm sure the hosts are not thrilled about either. But it's just insane to me that...
Why wouldn't they be? They're getting free money
to do this thing, which,
I mean, they're doing just, they have nothing to do with this. They're just working.
Granted, is not going to get the guy to fuck her straight up. That's just not how it works in the host industry, unfortunately. But she was, I guess, just so delusional of the fact that, like, oh, maybe if I steal a buttload of money from these, like, innocent, lonely Japanese dudes and put all of that money into this one fucking host, maybe Senpai will notice me. Well, Senpai did notice you. Senpai being the goddamn police force. Presiding Judge Omura condemned the defendant, saying that her motive to contribute to the sales of a host is truly selfish, and there is no room for leniency.
This shit will come to us too. It is probably already here in some form. No, Western, the way Westerns are, there will never be a form of male host club, I think, in this sort of manner that it is in Japan. I think it's a complete cultural thing. I don't think the host clubs will really do well in our society at all. The people in our, like in the Western society, are looking more forward to AI than to have any sort of host clubs.
Judge, it is like
Cougars would love that shit.
Selfish.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
Arrogant and stupid. that you would do something like that. Like if she wasn't already committing,
it currently is only in
like,
Japan, yeah,
crime, she's also committing like a slightly moral crime as well. Of like, what, really? You used 150 million yen on a host? What the actual hell is wrong with you? Watanabe pleaded guilty during the trial in December.
Isn't that like normal? I thought host clubs were expensive. Like, I thought only extremely rich people tend to go to host clubs or invite hosts into their parties. Like, that's how I understood it.
She says, I thought it was fair game to commit fraud for the sake of the host. What? What about that is fair? What is fair? How could you think? Oh my god, yeah, she's actually insane. All right, you know when they say
fair
never stick
game.
Crazy, this host abided by that rule. I'm sure the moment this host instantly looked at her, instantly saw the fucking pile of cash that was sitting in front of him that this woman single-handedly provided for him, he immediately thought like, this bitch is crazy. But also she showed remorse, saying that she did something really bad. Okay, so now you're backpedaling. A little bit too late there, young missy. Watanabe, who went by the moniker Itadaki Joshi Riri-chan, that should be the name of like a horror anime, which roughly translates as Sugar Baby Riri, dated older men and swindled them out of money by telling them fictitious heartbreaking stories about herself to gain their sympathy. I don't know, man. This whole like situation that she's in is like is factual, but still heartbreaking. It's literally heartbreaking of the fact that you have found yourself in this position. Like, you are so lonely. You are trying so goddamn
everything for senpai. Yeah, that's
every
right.
orifice to get this single man to notice you. So much so that you are committing multiple counts of fraud. Like that is heartbreaking in a sense, but you will gain no sympathy from me or anyone watching this video, I'm sure. Itadaki Joshi, which literally means girls who receive, refers to young women who date or have sex with older men in exchange for financial benefits, with many such women swindling large amounts of money from men in recent years. Itadaki Joshi was nominated as one of the top 30 buzzwords of 2023. I don't know if that should be, you know, something that like... there should be a term we should be celebrating, you know? Like, I feel that's a little bit weird, but alright. Watanabe was charged with defrauding 3 men in their 50s out of a total of 155.8 million yen in cash. How much is that in USD? Let's see. That is literally $1 million USD. This woman swindled 3 dudes out of $1 million. That's what?
I mean, that's insane. Yo, holy, that is crazy. Can you imagine that? Like, oh my god. And she spent all of that money on host club. I mean, you gotta respect the hustle. That is nuts. See, now if it's $1 million, I mean,
Jesus Christ, how good could the sex be? You know, now that I know about this girl, maybe I don't find her as attractive as, you know, prior, you know, per se, but god damn, man, $1 million.
That's what we call desperate.
Jesus Christ, these dudes must have been loaded. Must have been, past tense. Definitely not loaded anymore. Watanabe was charged with defrauding 3 men in the 50s out of 155 million cash between 2021 and 2023, and with helping a 21-year-old woman in Nagoya defraud 2 men of a total of about 10 million in 2022.
You want the bag? I mean, yeah.
A reference book for
you want to be bagged as well.
That couldn't be further from the truth. The ladies, if you want to be a sugar baby, do not follow this reference book. It is not a reference book for sugar babies. It is a reference book for fraud. She was also accused of failing to declare about 40 million yen worth of income over a 2-year period through 2022 and of income tax evasion. Oh my god, so she not only committed fraud, multiple counts of fraud, but she was an accomplice on another count of fraud, and she was evading tax?
Dude, tax evasion at its finest, baby. Dude, everybody's tax evading base.
Oh, never give this woman a single goddamn yen ever again, please. Prosecutors had sought 13 years of imprisonment and a 13 million yen fine for Watanabe.
What would happen if the whole, like, everyone in the entire country just said, no more taxes? I ain't paying these. I ain't paying more taxes. I've had enough. Down with the country. I actually wonder what kind of scenario would happen if, like, just a random, like, let's say, like, fucking England just randomly decide no, but just everybody decide out of the blue, we're not paying more taxes. Down with the government. Down with it. Hi, Shiny.
Prefectural police arrested 2 hosts for knowingly receiving money obtained through fraud from Watanabe. Oh, okay. So this host knew that this was dirty money. This host knew and just did not care. Hey, kids. Welcome to the real world. Everyone is fucking corrupt. Look, as much as I am, very fascinated with this kind of like true crime stuff over the years, because I just honestly just find it interesting to try and figure out what exactly goes on with the psychology of these kinds of people. Like,
I'm actually kind of in the same boat. Like, the people that do these things are like, they're stupid as hell. What are you doing? So it is kind of funny for me to like sit down and think, or like hear what were their thought process? What were you thinking? How did you even get to that spot? And also, how do you have the balls to do this? Like, why did you do this? Addy, you are a sugar baby? I'm not a sugar baby. I don't know, man. Am I wait, what? Nah. I just want to know what they do. Like, what went through their brain? How did they do it?
Like this to commit acts like that is just like I find that to be really fascinating, and that's why, like, I'm kind of glad I get to use this channel to kind of talk about different crimes and all that kind of stuff. This one, man, I genuinely have absolutely no clue what could have driven her to do such things, because this is just like every step of the way of this article is just like, bam, there's the problem, bam, there's the problem, bam, there's another problem. It just keeps it's the gift that keeps on giving, but the gift you never wanted. And look, man, as I said at the beginning of this video, don't be fooled, dog. If you're a dude watching this video, hell, if you're a girl watching, any gender watching this video, and a girl or a guy or any person approaches you in this fashion, keep your barricades up. It doesn't hurt to have a little bit of a wall up of suspicion at first, okay? Because you might end up like these 3 very, very unfortunate.
I love Connor. I watched Connor for years.
Buttload of money, even if they were like mega rich. 330,000 yen, $330,000, excuse me, is a lot of money for anybody. Just knowing that all of that money that these
I swear, in a different life, I swear, I think like this kind of job. I mean, I ain't a sugar babe, and I'm not a host club, but it does sound a little bit fun. Like, can you imagine that? You're getting paid this much just to have a good time. You're just vibing and chilling, and you're getting paid for it. Now that sounds like a great job, in my opinion.
Gave to like hopefully benefit her, hopefully benefit like showering her with gifts and all that kind of stuff, was going to another dude. Like, this woman was literally in a relationship with 3 dudes and then cheating on all 3 of them with a host.
I don't know if she's bad enough she can have my wallet.
Like, you can't make this shit up, bro. This is insane. Now I am perpetually afraid of cute Japanese girls now, so thank you, sugar baby Riri, for planting that seed into my brain. Thank God I am taken and am in a happy relationship. This would be freaking scary to be a part of. This would be devastating to be a part of. And I hope the dudes that got affected by this have, kind of been compensated for it, recovered from it, and hopefully they don't fall for it again. And if just my baseline knowledge,
I promise you, they probably haven't.
Understanding of the whole sugar baby, sugar daddy culture wasn't already off-putting, this one certainly added the cherry to the sundae, although that cherry is covered in doo-doo and smells like shit. That's about it.
But you almost have no time for yourself as a host. That is true. It's a very demanding, I mean, you have to party all the time. You're partying every day. You're drinking alcohol every day, all the time. And this surely is a very time consuming one, but it's like, it's very profitable.
This insane story. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Do you know of any people who are sugar babies, sugar daddies?
Yeah, I'm
Are
sugar.
they doing it responsibly? Are they doing it consensually? Are they doing it non-fraudulently?
Yeah,
I would love to know. So
I pay my taxes.
Down in the comments. And thanks for watching, guys. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to smack my face right here. Subscribe to the channel. Let's keep making big channel number go bigger. Over here next to my head, a couple more videos you can check out if you enjoyed this one. Links to my social media, as well as my Patreon to support me directly. And Nonsense, my clothing brand. Check it out. We make
man, that is a handful, isn't it?
The next one.
God damn, Joey. A good ass video. Yeah, I don't know, like, Can you imagine you're like a sugar baby and you're writing your tax report like gifted from my sugar boys this money here, I'm paying these taxes, this is the tax percent off from that job. I think in the end of this, what I learned from this video is that never trust cute Japanese girls. They will stab you. They might stab you. It might happen. Be careful out there. But anyways, it's a good video. That's wild that this happened. Like, I think it's funny how they were just like giving out money. Some men were giving her money. She was giving money to someone else. They was just walking around like that. And I bet the dude in the end was giving his money somewhere else. Just keeps on going on rotation. What an interesting story. But regardless, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like the video itself to help the algorithm gods, and sub to the channel if you enjoy these things. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.